Okay, the first thing that we want to talk about today is the ortho setting, which is down here on your bottom screen here. And basically, when you click this guy on, it forces either horizontal or vertical lines. So if I'm going to draw a line, come here, I can only go either up or down, or up or down, or left or right, right? So I can create my thing, and it'll only let me go in those directions there. Okay, so that's ortho. It can be helpful when you're making quick drawings. Okay, um, I typically keep it off, but if you want to keep it on, that's it's up to you. So we have that. So next thing I want to talk about are these things up here where I've got basically move, copy, and rotate. Okay, so we'll start with copy, and I can do copy. Okay, so I select that, and then it says, okay, we'll select the objects that you want to copy, and you can, click on all of these. That's what I will do here. Click on all of these like this. Once you select all the ones that you want, okay, you right click to kind of move on, and then it says specify the base point. Basically, this is where you're going to grab it. So for example, I could grab it here at this top corner, and that's where where I click the next time, it's going to place a second one with that as the top corner. So I click that corner, and then you see that's basically where I grab it, and then I can place it wherever I need to place it. Okay, and I can keep placing them if I want to. Otherwise, I can go ahead and hit enter. So that's copy. The move command is very similar. Okay, you just hit move. Again, you select the objects if you want. You can highlight them. Well, yeah, I did get it. You can highlight them. There's easier ways to do that. Once you get everything selected, you can right click to move forward, and then it says specify base point. So I can grab this as my base point this time, and then I can just move that this way. And the only difference between this and the last one is it deletes the previous drawing before you move on. The next one we want to do is the rotate. Okay, so it's the same idea. Okay, select objects. I can select it that way. That's what I meant to do last time. Get those objects selected, select OK. Then the base point. Now we're doing rotate. So when I select the base point, basically this is kind of where I put a pin in the object and rotate about that point. So I can grab, say, this corner here, and you can see that then I can rotate it in any direction I want. Okay, and I can specify an angle if I want to. So like if I did 30 degrees, it'd probably rotate it up about like this to 30 degrees, again, up from that angle. So I'll go ahead and type that in. Otherwise, you can just rotate it wherever you want. So again, that base point is key to that, because when you come through, and if, let's say I choose the center this time, oops, I meant to, now that I've selected, now I select my base point, click that center. Again, that's the point that it's going to take and rotate it about. Okay, so that's the rotate command. So those are some things that you can do. The next one I want to talk about is the fillet command, which is basically just how we can round off some edges. Okay, and that command is right here. So I just left click to choose the fillet command. Okay, what you should start with is right clicking and inputting the radius that you want to put in there. Okay, so the default here is 0. That's kind of weird. Let me put in like a 1/4 inch. Okay, and this will make a rounded edge with a radius of a 1/4 inch. Okay, now it says specify the first object, then it'll be the second object. So I can select this guy and then this guy, and you can see that it rounds off the edges just like that. Okay, so pretty straightforward. So let me go through it one more time. You just click on fillet. Okay, right click, choose radius. This time I'll do a 1/2 inch. Okay, select your two objects. Select this guy, and it'll round off that edge with a radius of whatever you put it in there as. Okay. All right, so let me quickly do this, because the next one I want to show you is the extend feature, which is kind of the opposite of trim, right? We have trim up here. There's this other one called extend. Okay, And all you do on this is you click on it, and then if you want to extend a line, you just click on the line you want to extend. Now, which side you click on will tell you which way it extends it. So if I click towards the right side, it'll extend it that way. If I click towards the left side, it'll extend it that way, right? So if I click there, it'll extend it, right? I can extend it a second time, just click again. Once you're all finished, you right click and hit enter. So again, that feature is up here under the extend, okay? And then you can just click on things and it'll extend it to the next line. Okay, so that's extend, kind of the opposite of trim. Okay. Next one is polyline. Okay, so you think about the square that I created here. Okay, and what I can do when I click on it, it's actually 4 lines. But what I can do is I can actually turn it in and kind of group those together in what we call a polyline. And that's under the modify feature here, right here, polyline. Okay. Now, notice I selected that line and went to polyline, and my thing says, hey, that's not a polyline. Do you want to turn it into one? And I can click yes. Okay. And then I want to join these polylines. And I can just go through and select all of the things that I want to create as a polyline, basically grouped together like that. Once I get them all selected, I can right click, okay, and right click a second time and hit enter. Now when I click on it, you see it's a single object that I can select like that. Okay, so it takes 4 individual lines and turns them now into a single polyline. Okay, to undo this, there's the explode command. I can just go right here, click explode, and you can see that now it breaks it back up into 4 individual lines. Okay, so again, if I want to create this, I just go down here to polyline. This will say, hey, select a polyline. Click here. Hey, that's not a polyline. Do you want to turn it into one? Yes. Okay, I want to join these guys. Okay, and I'm just going to go around and click all of these guys. Noticing that the fillets are their own object now too. Once I get them all done, it's basically a series of right clicks. Right click once, right click a center time, hit enter, and then you have, you know, when I click it, rather than 6 or whatever individual lines, it's 1 polyline. Okay, so that's polyline. And explode is the opposite. But I'm going to leave it like that for a second just to show you. Next one I want to show you is the offset feature, which is right here. And basically what that does is it takes a line and it basically creates a copy of it some distance away. So I can click offset. It'll say, hey, specify the distance. We'll do 1/2 inch. Okay. And then it says select an object. Well, I'll just select this line, and then I can either go up or down and click and have it again, and I can keep clicking it. Okay. Pretty easy, right? Or I can go the other direction or whatever. Okay. Offset command. Okay. It's nice doing this offset command. I'm going to do it with this polyline, which is one of the advantageous things of doing a polyline. Doing an offset, let me do the offset again. This time let me just do, I'll just do 0.2 for my offset, right? If I try to do an offset for this square, I mean, I can do it, but I have to do each line individually. Whereas if I come over to this, and now it's a polyline, I can click that offset, and it'll take the whole line, and it'll offset it, the 0.2. Or I can go inside, of course, as well, if I need to. Okay, so that's one advantage of creating a polyline, doing that offset. There's other advantages as well. And that's really all that is new that we're going through in Chapter 3 of our book.